Hi, this is Tami. Welcome to Tami Talk. Our show is to inspire you into a place of healing and freedom. Stay tuned.
Well, hello, and welcome back to Tami Talk Live, where there is hope. Thank you for coming in today, and I want to say thank you for my co-host. That will be none other than Joe Easy. How you doing today, Joe Easy?
Easy sneezy.
Easy sneezy. I think we're going to have another featured guest today. What do you say? Are you guys loving the guest? If you do, let us know. So our guest for today is, wait a minute, I think we get ring. Oh, hey, well, Nate, well, come on over. We'd love to chat with you. You know there's always hope in talking. Okay. Today, our featured guest is none other than, that's going to be Mr. Nathaniel Causely Jr. Hello there.
Hey, Tami. Hey, Joe.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
That's good. So, Nate, we're going to just, without further ado, give us who you are, a little bio of yourself. I know you wear many hats, from CPA, accounting, text preparation, all of that. You know,
helping people out with building their businesses,
yeah, personal and
setting up trust, and to help a person have a strong foundation for their business.
Business planning, both. We've been reading up. I mean, let me tell you what I like. I'm gonna let you talk, but let me tell you what I love about this.
She lets somebody talk.
This is gonna be a statement. A head for business means nothing without a heart for the people. You gotta have a heart for the people. You just not in it for the money. I love it. You go.
Wow, you really went deep to find that quote that I made. that's a quote from years ago. I'm impressed. Joe must have passed on some of that investigatory technique that he has for you to find that quote. First I want to say thank you. It's an honor and a privilege for you guys to invite me to your platform. I'm so proud of what you've done, Tami, you and Joe. The couple that works together stays together. They say it's pray together, but you found a very, very unique area of being able to do business together, which I'm very happy of and
thank you
and excited. And so I thank you for letting me come onto this platform just to talk a little bit about myself. In a nutshell, who am I? I'm a son, a father, a brother, a friend. That's who I am. My biggest relative, Joe is my cousin. That's who I really am, from the professional stuff, jack of all trades, master of a few. I started a company about 5 years ago, but prior to that, I worked in the field of law, worked for major corporate companies like Northwestern Mutual Life and H&R Block, worked for private law firms, and then traveled the world, lived in maybe 5 different countries. I speak 2 languages, English and Portuguese, understand Spanish, a little bit of Polish and Russian. But more importantly, when I first started out, I was working for a law firm out of Camden, New Jersey. And what inspired me, Tami and Joe, to go into business was my first wife at the time was pregnant with our son. And I remember asking my boss if I could get some time off so that I could be present for my son's birth. And he told me I could take time off, but it would be without pay. And that struck me so deeply early on in my career, probably say between 1988, when I started working for the law firm in Camden, New Jersey. Yeah. And my son was born in 1990. And that one single moment in my life set me out on a destiny to be master of my own faith and captain of my soul, and try to be in business, and been in business since 1990 when my son was born. It's been a road of ups and downs and roller coasters, but at the end of the day, it's been worth it. That's the best thing. I think it took me 11 years before I turned a profit. My first profit in 11 years after I started the business, and the first time I went on vacation was 11 years from starting the business. And since that time, it's been so many businesses in between. Our first business was right in Camden. We started a restaurant with Joe's uncle, my cousin Nate Maddox, and it was called Nate's Place, and that flourished into comedy shows, nightclubs, travel companies in 3 different countries: India, Brazil, and China. You name it, I've just been out there. As Tupac said, Tammy, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's
Okay,
me.
well, I said, and I love the fact that the first point that I realized, like you say, you got to believe in yourself and do yourself your own entrepreneur. When you're being denied, and I remember that in the 80s, you know, being pregnant and maternity leave was no joke. It's like you without pay, it was very limited. So yeah, you did the right thing, the best thing, and you believed in yourself. You bet on yourself. You bet on yourself, and look at you now. And you took the risk, the leap of faith, and look where you are. Like I say, from, like you say, accounting, law firms, you've done it, HR, taxes. So just give us a little snippet with helping someone out there that has a business, and also like personal taxes, the reel it if you may.
Sure. So for anyone that has a business, the tax industry in this particular area is something that affects all of us. So whether you're a butcher maker, a candlestick maker, no matter what your business is, taxes is something that is the biggest hole that comes out of our bucket of hard-earned money that we fight, we save for, we invest in. The biggest bucket is the taxes. So our goal is to, one, teach people this game of tax, how to become a tax entrepreneur, how to live tax-free, and converting personal assets into business assets. So that's all part of the process, so that you can learn this game called tax, and one, legally, ethically, and morally reduce your tax obligation. It is not the government's fault if you do not understand the rules of this game to not pay any tax or very little taxes. That's on you. And all of the victors and all of the spoils of this tax go to people who own businesses. So I tell everyone, even if you're not sure what you want to do, start a business, because all the advantages, all the tax breaks go to business owners, because we take the risk and we employ America. And you know, it's important. So regardless, everyone needs to own a business. And I'll give you a quick example of the difference, right? So I've got a nice big flat screen TV. A lot of it, 54, 75-inch flat screen TV. Now, as a business owner, because I watch videos, I review tax plans, all types of things with my business, I bought that TV under my business name because it was used in keywords that I give everyone. Everything you do in business, if you can show that it is ordinary and necessary for you to further your business, it's a legitimate business deduction. And how do you determine ordinary necessary? Real simple. Do you need it? And is it something that happens every day in your business? Well, yeah, I need my TV to review all types of plans, PowerPoints. So by purchasing that, I think, at the time we may have spent, this before they start coming down all the deals, but I think we may have spent $900 on that TV. But that was a business deduction I got to deduct from my business taxes. However, if I didn't own a business, that $900 I'm going to spend, and even if I were looking at different things, I would not get to deduct that as an individual without owning a business. So I try to teach everyone. I wrote a book. Say that again?
No, that's great to know. That's great information.
Yes. And so I try to teach everyone. One of my publications that I've written is called The ABCs of Tax Deductions for Entrepreneurs. And it's sort of like a little Bible I give all my clients, where your everyday thing that you do, once you understand this game of tax, you'll realize every dollar you spend should be a business deduction. Now, I go out or go somewhere, I'm always doing business. Whenever I'm with someone, I talk with Joe, I always bring up taxes because it's ordinary and necessary. So wherever I'm spending money, I always have a discussion about business.
Now, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, first of all, what type of advice would you give someone, to listeners, to say, hey, I want to start my own business, but I don't know, like they have a lot of inquiries. Just jump the rope, jump the broom, get over it. Just do it, right?
Well, what I would tell them is, one, prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. So everything, you've got to plan your work and then work your plan. However, planning your work and working your plan should not be at the expense of the overanalysis, the paralysis of overanalysis, of not being able to take action. So I tell everyone, you got to look at what you want to do. So when we meet with clients, we find out everything they want to do. And the quickest way to think about going into business is, what is your passion? And if you have something you're passionate about, you can probably turn that into a business. And that's the easiest way. Or you find an area where there is a need, people need something, and you go into that. Or you find an area where there's a niche that is not being met. People are demanding something, but there is not a business for it. Those are the three basic things: something you love to do, providing a much needed service, or finding a niche where a service is not being provided and fill that gap. We take that, analyze where people are, give them a roadmap on where they want to be, and then we make recommendations. And those recommendations could be everything from, well, what is the best way for me to pursue this venture? Is it as a sole proprietor, partnership, S Corp, C Corp, LLC? Because each one of those different forms of doing business, you are taxed differently depending on the type of business you have. So if you think about it, you do business, money comes in, but depending on how you're set up, you may be able to, end up with a 10% net profit, 20, 25%, all because of the way you're incorporated. Once we do an entity optimization of, go ahead, Joe.
I just want to say this. When I first met you, you came to an Ivy League school, college in New Jersey for me, and you lived in Texas to help me get this contract, and I ended up getting this contract solely because of your experience and my non-experience. I've learned several things. I've learned how to persevere through what I might think as a setback. And because of your knowledge that you brought to the table with New Jersey, I have this contract now with New Jersey since 2018. Wouldn't have been able to do it without my mentor, which is you. And I have to say this to anybody that wants to get into this field or any type of business, because you're not just locked into one thing when it comes to business. You're very broad-minded.
Right.
So what I want you to do is put your information out there
so
that they can contact you.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if these people if you're not serious, don't call, because you're not dealing with somebody that's going to deal with you if you're not serious. And nor do we deal with the fate in mind. So just get your information out there so people know how to contact you, because you're not only a business consultant, you help set up people business, you do trust for people business. I'm getting ready to get my wife and our business set up as a trust, because people don't know when you set your business up as a trust, it helps you out in a lot of ways too. And
personal and tax business and planning.
Well, yeah, you set that all up for the company anyway. So can we get your information on how to get in contact with you? And he's also
Absolutely.
I was going to say, and he's also a Mega Set 5.
That's true. Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated, pledge that Beta Sigma chapter, Southern University, and this homecoming in October, for all of you, if you're making your way down to Louisiana, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary of my line in the fraternity. We pledged in 1983, 40 years ago. Okay. So, yes, I'm excited about that. So I'm going to take a page out of a book that I normally don't do, and Joe knows this. So most of the clients that I have can only get to me through an existing client. We do not publicly advertise, even though we have a website out there, information about all of our companies. We generally only take clients from existing clients. And I think that's why Joe said, don't call me if you're not serious. So normally we don't even do this, but because I'm here to support Joe and Tammy's show, we will put our information out there, but generally you would have to contact us through an existing client like Joe. That's the only way that we do. And we typically only take maybe no clients in one given month. We keep it very, very small as far as the new clients we onboard, only because we're sort of at a point, Joe and Tammy, in our business where I don't have a lot of time to deprogram our people and how they think. And I don't waste a lot of time with, and you be guys being young Black entrepreneurs. We start off, I support our Black business people, but we still have a long way to go as far as deprogramming as to what we've been through in history. And that deprogramming of trying to convince Black people to do business with Black people and that Black ice is as cold as white ice, I just don't have that capacity within me to do that anymore. So when people come to us, they need to, one, be deprogrammed out of the matrix, so to speak, and thinking that you need approval by some other race to do business, or if that other race tells you it's okay. We normally don't waste our time with that. And a lot of the things that we do, as Joe knows, it's once you find out the information, it's going to upset a lot of the education that you've gotten your entire life as to how this game
you got to unlearn
really
what
played,
you learned.
as far as that's right.
Unlearn
Absolutely.
what you learned. Yeah.
Our website. I'm sorry. Say that again, Tami.
So it's almost like you have to unlearn what you learned.
Yes, absolutely. If you think about the American education system, it's a game of throw and fetch. They give us the information, throw it out to us. We go fetch it, and we bring back the answer that they tell us is the answer. And so to undo that mindset, you've got to think outside the box. We do a lot of educating of our clients. So to become a client with us, a big part of it is you're going to have to read. We're going to give you assignments. I need you to read this. Before we can go to step 2, I need you to read this and understand this thing about this nation, about this government, about this, before we can ever get to the point where we actually can give you some advice and put you on the other side, what I say, how to operate either corporately or privately and not publicly. So our company is Global Tax Centers. That's GLOBAL Tax, TAX Centers. Our website is www.globaltaxcenters.com. Our office number is 877-548-2776. That's 877-548-2776. There's a series of extensions there that cover all of our business ventures, from our back office payroll centers, our education centers, our funding centers, our incorporation, our technology center. But my direct extension is extension 100, and that will ring directly to me. And from that number, you'll be able to reach out to us, or you can go to on the website. Once you send an information out, we will respond to you. And from there, you can schedule an appointment directly with us. We do charge a fee for our initial consultations on 30 minutes or 1 hour minutes. So at the end of the day, that 1 hour or 30 minutes, you'll learn more about what you didn't know. But at the end of the day, in all my years of being in business, we do know that there are people that just want to get the information and have no intentions of ever doing business with you. So we charge a nominal fee for that information for that first consultation. And then if you decide to want to go further with us, then we'll open up and tell you about all the services. Welcome. We'll throw in a free ebook with that. Be how to build a financial empire, how to incorporate and get paid, or the ABCs of tax deductions. We'll give you one of our 3 ebooks as a courtesy for the call. But that way, we don't waste your time. You don't waste our time. And if you don't want to move forward, there's no harm, no foul.
Only a business person understand a retainer fee.
Yeah. So I just want to piggyback on some things. Contacting you, some of the points that you brought out is bet on yourself, believe in yourself, self-preservation, and you got to be business-minded. Unlearn what we got to rethink and unlearn. Program, educate. I like to say educate, evolve.
Yes.
You want to do.
And you actually pull yourself up from on your own bootstrap.
Yeah, it's like the mindset. You got to have a good mindset, and we deprogram. Deprogram is the big word I walked away from. And also, there are varieties of businesses, whether it's like you say, sole proprietor, LLC, S corp. So you help determine okay, I got an idea for a great entrepreneur. Which route should I take?
As a consultant, but fees come.
And also, I like when you said
and we'll come out
corporately and not publicly. I like that too.
And just by sitting here and listening to you, I mean, every time I talk to you, I'm learning something every time I turn around.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said you give out books and you have to read.
Young lady, I haven't finished.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, you like that?
Yes.
All right, good. That's good. She likes that.
I'm going to take my sip of tea because, it's go ahead, Joe Easy.
I don't forget what I like.
No, you didn't.
But
well, you don't necessarily have to become an expert, Tammy or Joe, and do it. But what we want, and we want conscious, aware partners, okay, not clients, but partners in our business. Because Joe will know once you become a partner, it's not just us providing a service. That's a short game. We're looking for the long game. As part of that long game, most of my investment group, we have an investment group that we invest in different things, comes from my existing client base. Before you could ever get into our investment syndicate, you have to be a client, because from a client, you understand that dollar that we spend. So when I spend money with one of our biggest supporters, Tina Teague Insurance Agency out of Florida, she has a State Farm agency, been in business for over 25 years, powerhouse. Tina is part of, I've done business with Tina, she does business with me, and that dollar that we do, it just goes round and round. It goes around the table for all the members of our group. And that's a challenge to our people. Now, certainly our syndicate is not limited to just African Americans or people of African ancestry. We have whites, we have Indians, we have Brazilians, we have people from all nationalities in our investment syndicate. But the one thing that we all follow is that we believe and we bet on ourselves. And if there's something that we need, we don't someone in the group, do you know someone that does this? So all the business that I deal with is within our group. And Joe will tell you that. I mean, even from the standpoint of how I met Joe and I are related ever until his uncle, my cousin, Nate, said, man, I got a cousin that wants to get in the security business. And when I talked with Joe, it didn't happen overnight. It was a conversation. I wanted to assess where he was. And from where he was when I first met him, with what he was doing to ultimately landing a contract with Princeton University, an Ivy League school, and growing to where he is now, that was a process that I'm glad to say, man, I'm so proud of him, of how he's grown, because the knowledge, you never get to the point. Every time you reach one goal, you go to the next goal, and you go to the next goal. But as you do that, you find out there are people that will support you, and that money, you've got to spend money. You can't, what I say, you can't be dollar wise and penny wise and dollar foolish.
Foolish, right? That is true.
Yeah, because I remember after finishing the contract with Princeton here, and you was telling me after we did the analysis of how much money I made and what I lost, but I didn't understood it at that point until you explained why. You don't always have to make a big profit. As long as you make a profit, period. Working for a school like that, your profit comes in many different areas.
Right. So that's generally for all businesses. We call it the 3-to-1 revenue to labor ratio, Tammy. And when you're in business, there's two rules that I tell my kids this. My kids are in business. My youngest 13. She's a
I said, school, tell her what it is. Tell her what it is.
Say that again.
I said, tell Tammy what it is.
Even my daughters, my youngest, it's called the 3-to-1 revenue to labor ratio. And all a 3-to-1 revenue to labor ratio means is that you've got to understand two rules of being in business. Rule number one is don't lose money. And that's the 1-to-1 ratio. If you're spending $1 and you're making $1, you're not losing money. That's rule number one. Don't lose money. Don't forget rule number one. You now get to the 2-to-1, which means for every dollar that you're making, you're covering your costs. That's 1-to-1. 2-to-1 is you're covering your costs and you're able to pay your employees. You haven't made a profit yet, but you didn't violate rule number 1. You didn't lose money. So as long as you're not losing money, you're in the game.
Okay.
Now, ultimately, and this is where I took Joe through that process for him to understand, now he gets it. When you bid out a contract, your minimum starting point of whatever that price is going to be 3 times what it's going to cost you to deliver that service. 1/3 covers your costs, 2/3 covers your employees, and that last third is now your profit for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, if you get that down pat, you can now go 5 to 1, 10 to 1. Because now, once you've got that down, Tami, you now have your systems in place. And that's wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's the system. Right. Once you get your system in place, you understand your ratio, so you don't get upset if you didn't make a profit, as long as you did what? Paid your one-to-one, your costs, you paid your employees, you're still in the game.
Yep.
That's right. You're still in the
game.
Well,
this has been great. And again, I thank you for stopping by. And we're going to wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. We're not going to lose no money. And I applaud you. And I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and educating us on the win-win in self-preservation.
Anytime,
and betting.
Guys. Yes, thank you so much. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. As long as you're in the game, you can't lose. And bet on yourself like you guys have done. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, cuz. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You got to bet on yourself. Repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. That's what we're doing. That's what you have to do. And for Tami's tip of the day, we now have Joe Heasy that's going to just share with us.
Okay, realizing and understanding your value. Your value is your awareness. Your understanding is your comprehension. If you feel that you are not being valued, don't get angry. That just means you're in the wrong place. Those who value you are those who appreciate you. Never stay in a place where no one values you.
I like that. Don't stay in a place. It's about value. We've been speaking about that today. Nate just spoke on bet on yourself, and here you come with value. I like that. Brittany was talking about self-care. Yes, I love this. So again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, stopping by to Tami Talk Live. There's hope. Please come back, and don't forget to love on yourself, value yourself, free your mind, invest in yourself. All this has been connecting today. I like this. But our sponsor is Joe Moore, the CEO of More Shore Protection. Go ahead.
You can do that better than me.
No, go ahead. Thank you.
More Shore, the security agency. I help people get their guard cards. I train people to do security work. And again, I help do CPR, first aid, baton handcuffing, and I do background checks.
And how will one get into contact with you?
You can contact me at my phone number, my business line, 443-356-0255.
That's right.
There's a cutoff time for me. Don't call me 9 o'clock at night.
It's okay. Well, can you repeat the phone number again?
443-356-0255.
That's right. Say it again.
Email morejoe26@gmail.com.
Okay. And I want to take the time to say, please connect with us on Facebook. YouTube, Instagram. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Listen, TuneIn, and Alexa. And until we meet again, thank you for stopping by, and be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. That's it for Tami Talk Live. There's hope.
Thank you for tuning in to Tami Talk. You can catch us every other week for a new and impactful podcast. We want to thank our sponsor, Joe Moore, CEO of More Assured Protection. Until next time, be blessed and go in peace.